Welcome to the Advantech Technical Training. In this topic we will talk about the motion and vision concept. The outline of this presentation will go through these 7 chapters. First is the motion concept introduction. We will introduce the 5 concept for the motion control. Second is the Advantech motion architecture introduction. Includes centralized motion control and distributed motion control. Third is Advantech Softmotion introduction and motion application. Next chapter, we will going to introduce the vision conception. Includes sensor, shutter introduction, and so on. In the end, there will have the Advantech camera introduction and their application. First, we will going to talk about motion concept introduction. Include motion control process, controller introduction, encoder introduction, step motor and servo motor introduction. In the end is feedback and sensor introduction. For the motion control process, we will separate it to 4 parts. Include controller, driver, mechanism, and feedback. We can take human action for example. Imagine that you want to pick up 1 cup on the table. What should you do? First, our brain will send the command to the arm. Then the muscle will drive the bone to stretch the arm to pick the cup. And use the eyes to check the distance between hands and cup. For the motion control are the same. Corresponding to the human's brain, it will have the controller to send the command like computer or PLC. Then the command driver to drive the mechanism to move. In the end, it will use the sensors or encoder to replace the human's eyes to do the signal feedback. These process we call it motion control process. In the following chapter, we will have more detailed information about it. In this page, we will going to talk about the controller. Advantech provide multiple kind of controller. For the user who only need few motion axis and I/O channels. He can refer this all-in-one controller like MVP3245. MVP3245 bundle for axis motion card and 32 channels I/O card. User can easily build their program on this controller. For other users who need more motion axis and I/O channel, they can select the fanless IPC or the industrial IPC. These kind of controller is more flexible. Users can depending on how many extension motion card and I/O card they need to choose the controller. For the motor driver part, there have 2 encoder type are P command and V command. P command is pulse control. Based on the signal type, it have 3 different mode. AB phase, CW, and pulse direction as the picture show below. For the motion control, the controller pulse type and motor pulse type need to coordinate with each other. Then it can work successfully. Sometimes if you find out that the motor action doesn't match your imagine, such as you send the clockwise command, but the motor move counterclockwise. The reason may cause by the wrong type about the encoder setting. Another encoder type is V command. V command is use velocity control, through the value of velocity to control clockwise counterclockwise and the speed. For example, positive 10 volt is clockwise maximum, negative 10 volt is counterclockwise and 0 volt is stop. V command velocity level is compared to the ground. Only need small velocity can trigger the motion. Usually it will used with PID controller. In this page, we will going to talk about what is step motor and servo motor. For the traditional step motor, it is open loop control like the top picture shown. The motion controller will send the command to motor controller to control the motor. And the motor will not feedback any information. Therefore if the motor have some error, the controller will never know. But for the servo motor it is closed loop. The motor part will through the encoder to feedback the position information to controller. Therefore if the motor have the error, the controller can do the position compensation. In the following page, there will have the introduction about this 2 motor. For the traditional step motor, as last page shown, it is used open loop. Therefore, it will easily lose the step. And in lower speed operation, it may cause some noise. But step motor can support higher torque in lower speed. Therefore, it is suitable for short distance transmission with belt and cam mechanism. For the servo motor, it is used closed loop control, therefore it can feed back the signal to controller to prevent the lost step issue. Though servo motor only support fixed torque, but it can work smoothly and quiet. Therefore, it is suitable for longer distance and high-speed transmission. The last part for the motion control is feedback. The most common sensor for the feedback like encoder, vision, or switch. With these sensor, we can easily get the machine working status. In the following chapter, we will going to talk about Advantech motion architecture. There have centralized architecture and distributed architecture. In the following page we will take more detail about them. This picture show Advantech centralized motion card architecture. In this architecture, the motion card will be connect to computer's PCI slot. Through the cable and terminal board connect to the driver to control the motor. The representative product like PCI 1245, PCI 1265 and PCI 1285. These kind of motion card is use pulse command to control the servo. It can support different kind of pulse command like CW, CCW or pulse direction. In this page, the picture is show Advantech distributed motion card architecture. With distributed architecture, it will need connect one master card to computer like PCI 1202 or PCI 1203. PCI 1202 is use Advantech AMONet communication and PCI 1203 is use EtherCAT communication. Then slave I/O module and motion module can be connect through RJ45 as the picture shown. Here is the compare between centralized and distributed motion architecture. For a small amount of motion axis and I/O channel, it is suitable to use centralized motion architecture. Due to it can be accomplished by one or two motion card and I/O card. But for big amount of motion axis and I/O channel, it have better to use distributed motion architecture. Due to distributed motion architecture only need to connect one master card in computer. Other slave motion and I/O module can be connect one by one through RJ45 cable. No need to connect a lot of motion card and I/O card. In this chapter, we will going to talk about Advantech Softmotion. And what is Softmotion? Advantech Softmotion support multiple motion function, like interpolation, group, path table, and so on. Both centralized and distributed motion card can support it. Advantech Softmotion help customer easily accomplish their application with flexible motion function. For the Advantech Softmotion, it support multiple motion function as we mentioned in last page. It is used .NET framework architecture. Provide easily and convenient test interface common motion utility. Also support multiple programming language sample code. With these tools, users can decrease their developing time, finish their program easily. In the following page, we will talk about the common motion utility. This page show Advantech common motion utility interface. Users can set the motion card configuration, test the motion function and monitor the I/O status with this tool. Next page, we will have some feature introduction for the common motion utility. For the common motion utility function, first is configuration import and export. With this function, users can easily save card configuration. Make sure every time the card will have the same configuration. Second, friendly user interface, users can easily know every button function and use them to test the motion function. Third, support 3 kinds of motion function, include home mode, point-to-point mode and continue moving mode. Fourth, motion status monitor, users can through the motion and I/O status to check the motion working situation. Finally, Common Motion Utility also can show the error message. With the error message, users can debug the program more easily. For the software support, Advantech Common Motion also support .NET Framework Architecture sample code. Include C#, VB.NET, VC examples. Also support 25 different function example. With these example, it can reduce the developer programming time. For the last motion introduction chapter, we will going to talk the motion application. In this application, high-speed dispensing dispenser. It is use PCI 1245 with Common Motion API to design the dispensing dispenser path. As the picture shown, in the past this application is use velocity to control the path. But when the path go through the corner, the speed decrease, therefore it will cause the glue overflow. But now we combine the compare function which is use position control. It can precise control the glue position, also decrease the glue overflow issue. In the following chapter, we will going to talk about vision introduction. Include light and lens introduction, CCD and CMOS sensor introduction, shutter introduction and Advantech software introduction. For the whole product line, machine vision can be used to effectively reduce the human resource and increase the yield rate of production. Take beverage product line for example. From the drink fill-in to the bottle, capper, labeler to the end case packing. All the station can combine with machine vision to do the identify and inspection. With Advantech machine vision solution, it can easily do the defective product detection. Also can scan the QR code or barcode to finish the shipping procedure. Next page, we will going to talk about what is machine vision. What is machine vision? Machine vision have three major components, include light, lens and camera. For the light part, it will depending on the environment and application to select the suitable light type. For the lens part, there have CCTV lens and telecentric lens. The last part is camera. In Advantech we provide PC-based camera and smart camera. In this page, we will talk about the light introduction. First is ring light. Ring light have flexible angle with no shadow. It can show the item 3D information. Therefore it is suitable for IC detection. Second is bar light. This kind of light have high luminance and wide area lighting. Therefore it will be used in the production line for continued detection. Third is coaxial light. Due to the internal spectroscope design, coaxial light can reduce the light consumption, also decrease the light reflection. It is suitable to use on some high reflection item detection, like the glass or metal. Finally is demo light. This kind of light will send 360-degree light. Therefore it can build the uniform image. Suitable for curved item detection. Before choosing the lens, we may need to know some important properties. First is focus length. It can through FOV, WD, and sensor size to calculated the focus length. FOV means field of view. It is the area which camera can capture. WD means working distance. It is the distance between camera and target. And the sensor size can be checked from the camera's specification. Next page we will have one example to show you the relationship between these property. In this case, we use Advantech Q-Cam GM3800-010CE. The sensor size of this camera is 6.4 mm, working distance is 50 mm and FOV is 20 mm. Based on the mathematical formula, we can calculated the focus length is 16 mm. Users can through these property based on his application to select the suitable camera and lens. For the camera, there have two different kind of camera sensor. Include CCD and CMOS. CCD and CMOS are both photodiode, used to transfer optical signal to electrical signal. For the CCD sensor, After exposure, the signal will be saved in the buffer and enlarged together, then transfer to ADC to output. The advantage for CCD sensor is low noise and high sensitivity, but it have higher power consumption and more expensive. For the traditional CMOS sensor design, after exposure every pixel signal will connect to one ADC and amplifier to convert the signal directly. It have lower power consumption, low cost, and it can easily integrate function on single chip. But due to there will have some difference between every amplifier. Therefore, it will cause the noise. For the camera shutter part, there have rolling shutter and global shutter. Due to rolling shutter, exposure time is different, therefore it will have the distortion issue. For the global shutter, all the sensor will exposure at the same time, therefore it will not have time delay, can improve the distortion issue. But it will also generate a big amount of data, so after take the image, it will need higher calculatability. For the camera color format, there have monochrome and color. Monochrome can use 8-bit to represent it. 0 means black and 255 means white. And color is billed with RGB, can use 24-bit to represent it. 000 means black and 255 means white. For the camera interface, there have FireWire, Giga-E, USB, CameraLink, and so on. In Advantech, we provide Giga-E Vision Frame Grabber Card PCIe 1672, 1674. Also, we have USB Vision Frame Grabber PCIe 1154. Users can base on their application to select the corresponding interface. For the following chapter, we will going to talk about Advantech camera introduction. In the camera part, Advantech provide PC-based camera, smart camera, and vision platform. Users can, depending on their application, to choose the corresponding module. First, we will introduce the all-in-one vision platform VPS 3100. VPS 3100 supports PoE, Power over Ethernet, combining power and signal supply into a single cable, enabling synchronization with multi-cameras acquisition. Second is PC-based camera. Advantech Quartz industrial camera series have between 0.3 to 15.0 megapixel CCDs and include ultrafeeds and a high level of technology in a very small form factor. With PoE function, user can easily connect it with our Vision Frame Grabber card. The last one is Smart Camera iCam 500. iCam 500 is a highly integrated industrial AI camera equipped with programmable focus lenses, LED illumination, Sony industrial-grade image sensor, multiple core ARM processors, and NVIDIA AI system on module. Provide user an easy-to-use automated inspection system. In the machine vision software part, Advantech Vision Navi is a configurable GUI-based machine vision application software that facilitates developing and deploying machine vision applications without any programming skills. With its powerful alignment, gauging, inspection, and identification toolkits, Vision Navi supports a wide range of machine vision applications. Also, using APIs in Vision Navi, customized apps can be easily integrated with motion control. In the end, we will talk about one camera application. For the machine vision product, it can be used in car assembly product line as shown below. In this application, it used camera to do the identify. Guarantee the product's quality before it leaves the product line. Also combine with motion and I/O, achieve the real-time action and status monitor. Thanks for your attention. Hope this course gave you a basic concept of motion and vision. If you are interested in advanced concepts and hands-on, you are welcome to join our product training courses. You will get a return with fruitful knowledge and skills. See you next time. Have a good learning day.